What if Mr. Bean ran for president? Picture a country that wakes up to a tiny green campaign bus, a candidate who mostly speaks with his eyebrows, and a teddy bear listed as senior advisor. The first rally is chaos. The first debate is a mime show, and somehow the polls keep rising. In this story, Bean faces a broken mic, a giant podium, a helicopter hat scandal, and an election day crisis he almost cannot fix. He wins people not with big speeches, but with little acts that feel honest and human. Stay to the end to see the one promise he never planned to make and the quiet way he keeps it. Subscribe now and hit the bell. Let's begin the funniest campaign in history. The campaign launch is set for noon at a sunny park. The stage looks serious. Flags, balloons, a podium so tall it needs its own zip code. The band plays something heroic. The crowd waits for strong words about the future. Mr. Bean steps out in his slightly too big suit. His tie is not ready for public life. He pats his pockets, finds a paper, and unfolds it with a grand gesture. It is not a speech. It is a shopping list. Bread, peas, AA batteries, shoelaces. He blinks. The crowd blinks. Somewhere a bird laughs. Bean smiles and acts like this is the plan. He points to bread. The crowd cheers by accident. Jobs. He circles batteries. The sound system squeals. Technology. He nods very wisely. People nod back, not sure why. He leans into the mic. The mic leans away and dies. He taps it. Nothing. He taps it harder. The podium wobbles. The flags wobble with it. He glances at the band. The drummer gives him a little good luck roll. Bean opens his mouth to improvise and sneezes. A confetti cannon, wired to activate at the first big line, hears the sneeze and explodes. Confetti rains down in a heroic mistake. A banner falls from the truss. It lands perfectly, as if a careful team had planned it all night. Bean for Prez. The crowd gasps, then laughs, then claps. The cameras zoom in. The headline writes itself. A reporter shouts, "What is your first policy?" Bean thinks. He lifts Teddy to the mic. Teddy says nothing. Bean gives a tiny solemn nod like, "We agree." The crowd laughs again, louder this time. Laughter makes courage. A child near the stage points at the giant podium and says, "He's too small." Bean hears it. He stares at the podium like it insulted his mother, then reaches behind it and pulls out a folding step he brought from home. He unfolds it with the pride of a magician. He climbs. Now he is the right size. The crowd roars. The cameras drink it in. He signs a volunteer's hat by accident with ketchup from a hot dog someone pushed into his hand. The press calls it a bold, ketchup-forward signature style. A donor whispers, "This is madness." Another donor whispers, "This is magic." That night, his first debate is announced, tomorrow, and the rules say no props, no pets, no nonsense. The other candidates arrive with folders and perfect hair. Mr. Bean arrives with a suitcase that security removes at the door. Goodbye, step stool. Goodbye, backup tie. Goodbye, emergency snack sandwich. He enters the bright stage with only Teddy in his coat pocket, which security somehow missed because Teddy is small and looks like a snack. The first question is big, the economy. Opponent 1 talks about projections and charts. Opponent 2 promises something huge and shiny. Mr. Bean leans to his mic. The mic squeals again. He startles. He tells it to be quiet, with a finger on his lips. The audience laughs. He tries to speak. Only a small comes out. He points at himself, stands taller on his toes, and mimes slicing a sandwich into halves, then quarters, then eighths. He points to the audience, then to the sandwich, then spreads the imaginary pieces evenly. He gives a thumbs up. The moderator blinks. The audience giggles. An AV tech presses the wrong button. A pie chart appears on the big screen behind them. By miracle, the slices match Bean's mime. It looks intentional. Mr. Bean points at the screen, then at the invisible sandwich, closes his eyes with a proud little smile, and bows. Second question, foreign policy. Mr. Bean pats his pockets. He finds the rubber duck from his bath, which is normal for him. The rules say no props. He hides the duck, then remembers the rules. He looks guilty, shows the duck to the moderator, and holds his wrists out like, "Arrest me then." The moderator sighs. The audience falls in love. An opponent attacks. He has no plan. Mr. Bean opens his hands, then his arms, then his heart. His eyebrows draw two sad commas. He walks to the edge of the stage and mimes building a bridge out of invisible blocks between him and the opponent. He pats the bridge with care and shows the other candidate to walk across it. The opponent refuses, of course. Bean shrugs, pulls his invisible bridge back piece by piece and stores it in his pocket. The audience laughs, then claps. It sounds like Hope and Shoes. The final question is climate. The clock is almost out. Mr. Bean pulls a small hand fan from under the lectern where someone forgot to check. He points to the hot lights, fans himself once, then fans the moderator, then fans the audience by waving the fan like a cheer captain. He starts a tiny wind. Papers flutter. The stage plants shake like they are alive. Opponent one's hair finally moves. The crowd cheers. The moderator tries not to smile and fails. The buzzer honks. Debate over. Bean waves too long. He bumps the podium. It slides. He catches it and hugs it, like you hug a refrigerator when it tries to run away. The audience stands. Overnight polls show a shock. Mr. Bean ties for second, and the party invites him to the big rally, with a giant inflatable arch and a balloon budget that could block the sun. The rally is a fairground, food stalls, Ferris wheel, a stage with a huge inflatable arch that says, Mr. Bean in heroic letters. Volunteers hand out yellow balloons, too many balloons. A wind wakes up, the arch grows a mind and starts to walk. Bean rides in on his tiny green Mini. The crowd goes wild. He parks. The car honks its own horn twice, insulted to be this famous. He climbs onto the stage, waves, and the arch behind him inflates one extra breath, then tries to fly away like a polite whale. The stage crew panics. Mr. Bean does not. He ties one end of the arch to the Mini's bumper. The Mini acts like a paperweight. The arch yanks the Mini 1 foot, then stops. The crowd cheers like they just saw a rodeo. Bean bows, but his tie sticks to tape someone put on the stage. He bows deeper to unstick it. It works. The crowd laughs again. The mic crackles. He tries to speak. His voice comes out small. He points at his throat like sad voice, then at his heart like big heart. And the crowd fills in the speech he cannot give. He starts handing out AA batteries from his pocket to the stagehands because he always carries AA batteries. The band loses power. Bean throws a spare battery at the amp like a doctor throwing a lifesaver. The amp wakes up. The guitarist plays a victory riff by accident. A gust of wind pulls half the balloons free. They rise. Children cry. Mr. Bean pulls a roll of tape from someone's belt, tries to tape sky to ground, and discovers that does not work. He swaps to a less silly plan. Fast hand signals. Volunteers herd balloons back under the arch with brooms like sheepdogs. The crowd chants, "Fix it, Bean, fix it, Bean." The chant feels good. A TV crew cuts in live. A commentator says, "This is unserious." The camera cuts to a grandma laughing so hard she almost falls. A student teaching a toddler to clap in rhythm. A firefighter holding 3 balloons and a hot dog at the same time. And the commentator changes his mind on air. Mr. Bean steps to the edge to shake hands. He leans too far. He sees a tiny child holding a teddy twin. He leans further. He almost tips into the crowd. A dozen hands catch him and set him upright like he is a plant that needs help to stand. He touches his chest. He bows to those hands, to those faces, to the idea of being held up when you are not quite enough alone. That night, a scandal explodes online. A looped video of Mr. Bean in a revolving door, apparently forever. The headline screams, "Can this man leave a building?" The clip shows Mr. Bean stuck in a revolving door, circling, bumping, circling again. He presses. It resists. He tries to exit. It refuses. He bows to the door, very polite. People laugh. The loop ends before the last part. Opponents share it with fire emojis. "Unfit," one says. "Confused," says another. A talk show host does a whole bit with a fake door and 4 interns. The internet dances. But the full video drops. After circling far too long, Bean finally stops the door with both hands. He holds it open for a grandma who is very slow. He helps. A man with crutches. He backs up to let a delivery person push a dolly through. He is the last one to exit. He leaves, then comes back. then holds the door again because the grandma forgot her bag. The new headline says, "The Kindness Loop." The clip goes more viral than the first. A quiet wave moves through the country. People hold doors. People wave each other into traffic with big, silly smiles. Poles move, not huge, just enough to show that people care about small things when big things feel complicated. A late-night host invites Mr. Bean to clear the air. Mr. Bean arrives with polished shoes and a spoon he found in the green room. The host asks, "Are you serious enough for the job?" Mr. Bean looks at Teddy, looks at the host, and uses the spoon to reflect the studio light into a soft halo over Teddy's head. The crew breaks. The host tries not to laugh and fails. The audience stands. The next day, hashtags trend, "There's Bean means clean and be nice policy." The party chair calls. "You might actually win," she says, shocked by her own words. "Just do not ruin election day." Mr. Bean nods. He gives a thumbs up. He buys a second pair of shoelaces. He lays out his brown suit like it is a national flag. Election morning, Mr. Bean cannot find the one thing he needs most: his ID. He checks his coat. No ID. He checks his pants. No ID. He checks the Mini's glove box. A sandwich. He takes one brave bite, fuel for democracy, and checks again. The ID is under the sandwich. A little greasy and a lot late. He drives to his polling place. Traffic is an animal with many legs. He parks 3 blocks away, sprints, trips on nothing, slides, recovers, and reaches the line just as a poll worker announces, 10 minutes to close. A toddler in line cries. People are tired. Mr. Bean looks at the child, then at the door, then at his place in line near the front. He steps out. He waves the family forward. He steps back, back, back. Each time someone seems desperate, he gives up his spot. He keeps giving his place away until he is last. His campaign manager calls, "Where are you?" Bean sends a photo, the line, his shoes, Teddy, the sunset. The manager texts back a string of emojis that look like a broken drum. 5 minutes to close. He finally reaches the table. He opens his wallet. The ID is there. He lifts it like a trophy. Then he hears a voice outside. An elderly woman is walking very slowly up the ramp. The door will close in seconds. Bean freezes, then moves. He props the door with his foot, arms full of nothing, heart full of yes. He waves her in. He holds the door like the revolving one. She smiles. "I saw your door video," she says. "You waited for me then, too." He does not correct her. He just nods. The poll worker stamps the time. The door closes behind them. Mr. Bean votes last. He did not plan this. But from the first day, he kept bumping into a motto he never said out loud. Voters first, me last. Results come in like raindrops, then like a storm. It is too close. Then a single district flips. The news desk leans forward. The map changes. Color with a little ping. He wins by 1 vote. A reporter finds the grandma from the revolving door video. She holds up her sticker. "I voted," she says. "I was late." He held the door. The victory party is still chaotic. The confetti. Cannon malfunctions in a friendly way. The podium is still too big. Mr. Bean rolls out a tiny podium on wheels. He lifts Teddy and sets him by the mic. He raises a hand to quiet the room. He does not speak first. He sees the crowd. A bus driver in uniform, a nurse with 2 phones, a student with tape on her glasses, a kid in pajamas holding a rubber duck. He places his palm on his heart. He breathes. He points to the tiny podium and to the big one to say small things can stand next to big things and both can matter. He leans to the mic. It crackles, remembers him, and behaves. "Thank you," he says, slow and clear. People cheer like he just read a poem. He lifts Teddy's arm and wiggles it in a wave. The country laughs in one voice. The music swells. Balloons behave. The arch stays in place. The Mini honks twice outside, proud but tired. Bean looks into the camera, into us. If power is a door, who would you hold it open for today? Hit like. To keep this series alive, share this episode with a friend who needs a smile and comment who you want to see in the next What If? Mr. Bean versus who? Bowie as what? Gaga where? Subscribe and ring the bell so you don't miss the next What If?